So, David, today was the day. Everything that didn't get done in the National Assembly and provincial politics just kind of got done because people apparently have things to do, places to go, and people to see. And that includes this massive rewrite of the health bill, Bill 15. I want you to hear what Christian Dubé, I think this is actually François Legault, right, Brian? This is what François Legault had to say about the fact that they're going to push this thing through.
I think that the normal Quebecer can understand that after 200 hours of Christian Dubé answering opposition, I think that all the arguments have been given.
Yeah, that's as concerned as he is, David. What do you think?
This is very serious because when you look at the government of Quebec as a whole, if you had a total outsider just looking at what the Quebec government does, its core business is healthcare. Out of every $2 that we send to Quebec City goes into healthcare. This is the biggest piece of legislation to transform the healthcare system in decades. This is much more profound than the Barrette reform during the Couillard government. This goes back to the transformations even beyond the Bouchard reforms back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And to think that the same premier and the same health minister, Christian Dubé, who said 48 hours ago, not 48 days ago, 48 hours ago, that we should continue discussions about this very important bills next week. And that now says, oh, we've gone over everything. I mean, we haven't even gone through half of the bill. And going through the bill, the way our process does, going section by section and having the minister explain and having debates and having the opposition members, the critics, raise questions and issues. This is part of our democratic system. This is about democracy. And they're calling closure in this way and forcing these MNAs who have been working very long hours for over 200 hours, by the way, over the last few days and weeks, to force them now to go round the clock, because closure, and I know M&As get a bad rap, and I know about the salary increases and all of this, but closure right now, this means that all the members will stay up until the wee hours of the morning. I mean, they're not done till probably 6, 7, maybe 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Oh, my God. Okay.
That's what closure is. And so this is an accelerated process where they're going to spend all night getting the hundreds of articles that have yet to be studied. We don't know the consequences, and I know, James, and you've talked about it this week. You know, what André Fortin took the time to raise about the impact of Bill 15 on English healthcare institutions.
Right.
Well, that was raised because of the detailed study of the bill in commission.
Yeah, that was Christian Dubé saying, David, wasn't it? Oh, I wasn't even aware that was in there. Thanks for letting me know.
And I'll look into it.
Yeah, and this is extremely serious because we're talking about the biggest centralization of the healthcare system, again, since its creation back in 1972. And so we are looking at something very serious, and this, yet again, is an example that this is not a government that is governing for all Quebecers. This is a government that is governing for François Legault.
I feel like I don't understand what the real rush is here. Like, why can't this wait a few weeks until after the holidays?
I think what this is about the fact that they are desperate over there for a win. They are desperate because when you look at the polling, and this government is, of course, obsessed with polling, what is still, along with cost of living, housing issues, et cetera, number one issue is healthcare. And they have this around their collective necks over at the CAQ. François Legault and Christian Dubé want to be able to change the conversation about waiting times in emergency rooms and oncology appointments taking an hour, because now they want to turn it into what we would call a process story. They want to talk about, well, we're reforming. See, we're putting the bill together, and now we're going to get to work on making healthcare better. So this is about changing the conversation about healthcare, but the process here is this is going to the fundamental nature of government. You cannot just skip what is a fundamental piece of our legislative process. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm just tired of this, and I need to win because I want to have something to show for my horrible poll numbers, and I want to be able to try to reverse my satisfaction numbers that are going down the tubes, and I want to try to have something to say for the turkey conversation during the holidays."
It's kind of outrageous, isn't it? It's kind of outrageous.
It's not kind of outrageous, Natasha. It is outrageous. And the lack of reaction from the opposition parties, I get it, it's the usual, and I get everybody's tired, but this is bigger than just, oh, okay, we disagree with the Legault government. This is about democracy. This is why we send these people to Quebec City. This is why we pay the taxes. Again, we spend collectively $110 billion, give or take a few bill, every year in the provincial government. Half of that is health care every year. This is a lot of money. And to think that we're just going to transform the entire way this is governed, the decisions are taken, every single decision, not just about English institutions, every single thing that we have grown up with is going to be transformed by this bill. And we don't know the consequences yet.
Right. And interesting you say that, because the government's answer will simply be, yes, we are transforming everything because look at the system now. We have to improve it. It's an easy win to say, look what we've introduced here. But at the end of the day, how much of this do we absolutely have no idea about? You know, we used to use an expression, I've heard you've heard it before, baffle them with bold whatever. That's what this seems to be. Right, present a bill that's 1,000 pages long, put 200 amendments in it, and no one will really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. The expression is, a mammoth bill. You flood everybody with a mammoth bill that even the people that are proposing it don't understand. Right. Christian Dubé admitted it himself. Oh, I didn't know. And ultimately, you're going to centralize power to non-elected officials, basically bean counters, just like Christian Dubé and François Legault. And we're going to transform our healthcare system, where everybody right now that is thinking about healthcare in North America, by the way, is thinking more about, okay, we need to have adapted healthcare system that are in proximity to the people. The managers have to be close to the people. And what is this doing? This is going against actually the newer modern thinking about healthcare. This bill is about centralizing everything to Quebec City, to a few bean counters we don't know and are not elected, whereas the most modern thinking about healthcare right now in North America and in Europe is about actually decentralizing and having managers that are close to every institution so it can be adapted to the needs of the people who need the care.
We're going to run out of time here, and I want to make sure we squeeze this in, because you wrote last Friday, Premier Legault told the unions to think of the children. You say this Friday, I can tell you what the children think. I don't think we need to hear that clip again, because it'll turn our stomachs.
I realize we're low on time, but I did want to end, especially after your last call-in segment and question of the day. I wanted to end on a hopeful note. Yesterday, I had, sometimes life gives you some great moments and beautiful gifts, and yesterday I had that. I spent almost 3 hours with student leaders from Secondary 4 and Secondary 5 and bear with me, Face, JFK High, Laurier McDonald, Lester B. Pearson, Rosemount, Vincent Massey, James Ling, Lauren Hill Academy, Marymount Academy, Royal Vale, Royal West, and Westmount High.
Wow.
And this was organized by the English Montreal School Board. And we had the best conversation ever about this situation with the teachers. And what I heard, first of all, these, again, Sec 4, Sec 5 student leaders, the eloquence and the thoughtfulness and the intelligence of these young student leaders,
that's good,
young men, young women, talking about, and with structured thoughts about saying, hold on a second, we're coming off the pandemic. These results, our exams are either on the verge of being canceled or are being canceled because of this strike. These teachers that took their own time and at their own expense stayed with us through the pandemic, and now even because of the strike are hanging in there and even talking to us when they shouldn't. Mm-hmm. They're talking about teachers, couples that are both teachers that are, economically going through horrible times right now because of the strike, but that they still keep in touch with the students and want them to succeed. These kids who are stressing out because their grades right now in Sec 5 are the grades this semester these are the grades that influences their admission to CGEP. And I had even students saying, with everything that's going on with university tuitions and this, I'm thinking about even maybe continuing my studies in Ontario.
I'm not surprised to hear that. So David, this is great.
Is big. And I just want to say there's hope, and it was just a great conversation. There are more messages that came out, but they're in solidarity with the teachers. But there are also there are a lot of reasons there to be confident about the future. And I know
my goodness for that.
It's a hard time right now for everybody. But this was an amazing conversation.
I think we need to have a bigger conversation about it. But thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
you
for that,
thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too. Take care, Aaron, especially.
Thank you. All right.